This college football championship edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
What's up? It's the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz, and you are watching SGPN, and it is awesome. Let it ride.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers. Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Well, we've made it to the end of the tournament, aka the playoffs.
Yes, it is the end of the college football playoff. We are here to crown a national champion. Hanging out with us from the college experience, Colby Date, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
Where are you, Colby? There you are,
Colby. What's happening,
mate? Good day, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good. Heard you were under the weather a little bit. How you feeling?
Yeah, I've been barfing a lot the past couple of days. You know what I mean?
Nice.
That is a disgusting act.
Has it gotten to now? It sounds like you're recovered in your voice. You sound a little better. Have you? Did you feel like you lose weight? That is always the one benefit of getting the stomach flu, the stomach bug. You drop a couple of those holiday pounds. How you feeling?
It was all part of the strategy. You know what I mean? I lived in LA for 21 years.
Yeah,
so
it was bulimic.
You know, let's go. I got a big part coming up on the Sports Gambling Podcast college football show.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna make sure I look in shape for this natty.
Yeah, you just gotta, go somewhere where worms end up in the food, lose lots of weight.
Now you were saying before we started the show that the Hurricanes at Ole Miss that they were dealing with a little bit of the stomach bug. It seemed like something that's been going around in general.
Yeah, I think this bubble guts thing is real. It just seems to be going around for honestly. But he had stated that, or I think both members of both coaching staffs, I think had mentioned that over the past 10 days or so, or whenever the game was played. So now I guess 15 days or so. So yeah, and my wife and son were traveling down to South America, and they also went to about 30 fucking airports because that's just the way it goes, especially when you miss a couple flights. And yeah, so I got a strong feeling that they probably got the same case of Cristobal and brought it back. So yeah. But it's okay. They gave it to me. The season of giving was still, I hadn't, they left right after Christmas. So I hadn't gotten my full Christmas presents. So that one, sent it home for me is, just here, have a couple of days of vomit.
It has to be said that if this same situation was presented to Colby, his reaction would be, you need to stop eating so much ass.
100%.
That's usually
That is a disgusting act.
that'll give you the stomach flu as well. I would not. You got to be careful where you're going out to lunch.
Oh my god.
Hey, we're here talking college football national championship.
Real quick, Sean.
Yeah.
It reminded me there was a guy I played rugby with who was not ashamed of how gross his sexual escapades were, and he used to reference, like the letter they put in the window, like the rating that a restaurant might have, A, B, C. He used to talk about how he's, sometimes it feels good to get into a C. It's a little, it's like he used to refer to it as like it's seasoned,
Yeah. All right.
Which again, not for most.
No.
For some.
Not for everyone.
Anyway, speaking of C, college football.
Yes, and last time we were on here giving out college football picks. It was Indiana, and then Miami won outright and covered the number. I had Indiana. My dog was Indiana laying the alt number -13.5. They just destroyed Oregon. I mean, even someone who was laying the 13.5, I was a bit surprised how much they put it on Oregon. And then Ole Miss on the other side, like Ole Miss gave Miami everything they could handle, and then Miami, Carson Beck went down there and just had the drive of his life.
Well, that was hilarious too because he had a rushing touchdown.
Yeah,
and he had a couple first downs, but because of the sack numbers, we didn't hit the over.
That was very annoying.
That
was very annoying.
I did make a note. No more rushing props or projections.
Maybe the touchdown market, but yeah. the college football rushing yards could get wonky because any of the quarterback sacks and you're just completely cooked.
Filthy.
But what were your big takeaways for Miami and Indiana from the semifinals here, Colby?
Miami, I thought it was possible. Like that. I mean, it kind of went the way I know I picked Ole Miss, but I thought it was going to be a field goal game, and I was getting more than a field goal. So I thought Ole Miss was capable of winning it, and they had the lead with a minute left. And Carson Beck made the plays, and he got very lucky on that check down on that. Now credit to Carson Beck for that drive, with the exception of that one pass that was a check down that. I mean, hit the dude right in the hands because that could have been that's another thing that stood out in that game was there's like about 4 or 5 dropped interceptions. A couple of them might have been pick sixes. No,
I mean Ole Miss was playing with fire, and it was a weird situation to be in as a Miami better because I'm like it felt like they were pretty in control of that game, and I had confidence in that defense, but they just could not get could not get the turnovers though.
Welcome to Cristobal, and look, everyone's giving him his flowers, and look, he's in the national championship. I never thought he would get to a national championship, so I'll eat shit on that. But I still say like the ACC did him a favor for not playing in the ACC championship game because they probably would have lost, right? And then like that was a game, honestly, where Miami it felt like they had won by 17 or something, and to be down in the fourth with 1 minute left, there's not many coaches that I think can pull that off. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, hey, you brought a bunch of talent in. You got John Ruiz. You got a bunch of money. You know, not only is it great to just be able to get the best guys, but a nice little path. It works too. So, hey, good for him. Good for him. And people shit on him. I was shitting on him for years. He's in the Natty. He can flush the toilet on Pick Dundee. All right, so he's there. Let's see if he can win it.
Now, what about the other side, Indiana? I mean, they just destroyed Oregon. I mean, from the jump, they get that pick six. I was at the sports book.
First play of the game.
Do we want to address it?
What?
Well, the rampant cheating allegations.
I don't know what you're talking. I saw the one tweet you sent.
My favorite fake one is that Indiana something Mark Cuban related to it, but they gained access to some system that every team apparently uses for practice film, and so they know all the plays. That was my favorite. No, I think Indiana's got people shook.
Well, I mean, I just think this is potentially one of the best, assuming they win the championship game. If they do, they're favored to. It is one of the best stories. I heard other people saying, like, where do you put this? Is this 83 NC State? Is this the Miracle on Ice? Is it the Broadway Joe against Johnny Unitas at the Orange Bowl? Right? Like, where do you put this? Well, and I think I still got to win the game, so I don't want to go there, I guess, there yet, but it is great to see just the fact that, and I think the reason why they're all dumbfounded is because there are a bunch of, like, did you see the stats on how many 2 and 3 stars or 0 stars?
Yeah.
Compared to everyone else in there, or on Oregon to whoop their ass like that.
It's certainly a bad look. I mean, for Colby's battle, multi-decade long battle with the recruiting services. This is a huge win because, obviously development is unrelated to the prospect ratings, but I think it's clear that maybe using a 1, 2, 3 or a 3, 4, 5 essentially star rating system isn't nuanced enough. And if you're going to use that information to inform your preseason rankings, that's ridiculous. Now in today's we have all the graphics been circulating social, basically every team's salary. That's kind of like recruit star ratings, but it's at least money, which is real. Which is a little bit more real than the fake stars.
But they didn't have like, okay, Mendoza, they probably paid a decent price.
Well, I'm going to tell you where they fit. Now, while the only team they spent more of the Power Four, the only team they had a larger salary than is Alabama by $200K. They're at 21.1 million. The team they just curb stomped 26.1 million. At least documented, and that's Oregon.
And the salary. Hold on, let me explain what I would assume. And I haven't seen what you're talking about.
Well, they're calling it raw. So they're calling it roster cost. To your point, I didn't look into like what they're counting.
Because I was going to say Alabama has a shit ton of highly recruited guys that I'm sure were paid very nice to come there. I think Indiana spent last year to retain their players that they developed. A lot of the JMU guys.
Regardless,
right?
What I'm saying, what my point was more to say that I think going forward, we're going to be moving away from giving a shit about star ratings, and we're only going to care about dollars, because that's how it works in the NFL. Oh, you're the 5-star guy. Okay, did you get the most money? No, then you're not a 5-star guy.
Yeah.
Did you know like Myles Garrett? You know why he knows he's a 5-star guy? Because he got the most money. That's how it works.
And once again though, if you just look back at the Oregon game, the first play of the game, D'Angelo Pons, pick 6. That is I think a 2-star, 3-star from JMU, right? Elijah Surratt, 2 touchdowns. Kalen Black, a rushing touchdown. The best plays on defense. Go back and look at the guys that had the sacks those games or that game. I think 2 of the 3 guys. And the third guy was a JMU commit that flipped once Signetti got the job. So like it was basically all JMU players fucking up Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot has been made about the age. They're older, and I think a lot of people are bringing it up almost to say this isn't fair or this is an advantage. But yeah, that's college football now, right?
Well, it's not like again, they don't have that many like 7-year dudes. I mean, was it an advantage for Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia? Was it an advantage? I mean, a bunch of other schools do this shit. You know what I mean?
I think you should.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Why again? This is why the stars won't matter. But why not let let guys develop elsewhere and then pay them when they're good?
They're not really a portal team unless you include the JMU team. That's like they stayed with the staff and the coaches, which I think that is actually why they're so successful. In a time where you have so much turnover at every single team, they have a lot of continuity if you consider they've been with the staff that long.
They are bringing in another quarterback next year, but I think that will be.
Oh, now the money? No, they turned on the money now. Like this is another thing. Because idiots don't realize they think Mark Cuban was behind this the whole time. No, he was not. You know what I mean? Like this
Larry
is
Bird.
A recent development. Yeah. This is a recent development. So now, and like I think we hit on last episode, or maybe it was my show, but they have a wealthy base of alumni. So now that they've seen that this is possible, and I've even read that Kentucky's been studying this. A bunch of other schools have been studying this on like how does that become us, a traditional basketball blue blood. That just for football we've never had it, but why can't that be us? And I think every school should be asking themselves that.
They hit the nuts. Also, like sometimes you hit the inside straight or whatever. Like.
Who looks incredibly locked in. For the most part going into this game. I think whoever wins this, honestly, it's a pretty compelling storyline, and it highlights why we were screaming for the playoff the entire time. If Indiana rolls or wins or whatever, it's an awesome story. It's, hey, look at this team. Look at how quickly they turn things around. Look at this dork Fernando Mendoza. He's the best quarterback in the world now. I mean, they probably would have got in because they won the Big Ten, but like previous years, I could see, a smaller school like Indiana getting jobbed out of the 14 playoff.
Well, just take last year. Last year, they people knocked them because they lost to 2 games against the 2 best opponents they played. Those teams played for the national championship, might I add. Right?
Herb Street had that great comment about maybe people need to pay a little bit more attention to the whole season. and not be a TMZ fan.
Guy who checked out for Army Navy, that just, Kirk Herbstreit.
I mean,
said there's no college football POS, when there's the greatest college football game of all time taking place. And on the other side, Miami winning the college football national championship, a team that, as you pointed out, couldn't even play for their ACC conference, and they just go on this magical run.
They made the 14 playoff.
No,
they're the last team in this field.
They barely got in. Yeah. To win College Station, then to beat Ohio State, then to beat Ole Miss.
Four teams is what we should have, right? 4 teams. They got it.
Don't you what? I mean,
they got it figured out, right?
It would
the committee, to quote Mike Leach, right? Who has members on it that aren't even affiliated with football. They never been on a
Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice was one of the best middle linebackers of all time. Colby, how dare you? That's why they called her the Secretary of Defense.
It does seem like, again, if the theory is that the TV executives are running everything, how do they not scratch their head and go like, so if we could make this start a week earlier and like we could just have more playoff games? These things are doing.
It is funny how they're slowly figuring this out. They're like, wait, but teams want to play the games at home. Maybe we should figure out how to reward them and then instead of these long.
Well, you saw like the Ole Miss game. Ole Miss fans actually showed up pretty impressively, but it was still empty up at the top. People had shared videos on this. At the top, it was empty. But think about what you're asking your fans to do right here. This is why it's so dumb, right? You're asking your fans to, and to take Oregon, for example. They didn't make the Big Ten championship, but they did last year. So imagine next year, you're like, okay, we can make the Big Ten championship. Book our tickets to Indianapolis. So throughout the season, you're probably going to go to an away game, a big one, maybe at Michigan, maybe at USC, maybe at Ohio State. But then you're asking them to go to the Big Ten championship, where even if you lose, you're probably going to make the playoffs if you're in the Big Ten or SEC, right? But then you want to go. So Oregon had to go to Miami to play Texas Tech, right? First they had JMU in Eugene, so okay, you got one there. But after the Big Ten championship, which a lot of teams could make the championship game and have this happen to them, right? Then, go to Miami. Then you go back to Eugene. Then you go to Atlanta, and had they won that, they would have had to go back to Miami. So you're at like, short of Phil Knight's friends at Nike, who the fuck can afford that? That's like, hey, for 6 weeks, we're going to be going on the road to catch our favorite team.
No, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And yeah, maybe you make I don't know what the formula is because they still want to have. The formula
is follow the NFL's lead on this. The Super Bowl,
the NFL model, some people call it.
Yes.
Where,
with the exception of I can't throw flags on the Panthers hosting a playoff game. But
what's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, they were terrible, right?
You don't like the small conference schools,
but I mean, that's like they
won their conference.
That's like the G5 not getting a shot at the playoffs. You won your division.
You can make the playoffs, but I just think you should probably be on the road if you have a losing record.
If you win if you want to host the playoff game, win your division. As someone who's a fan of NFL history, it establishes the tradition. You win your division in the National Football League, you get a home playoff game.
I mean, Colby,
I love that.
So
look what happened.
Historically, there's been like 11-win teams and 10-win teams left out of the playoffs when a 7-win team makes the playoffs.
Yeah, sack up and win your division.
It happens.
That's why divisions are cool.
It happens once in a while.
Not a perfect format. Yeah.
No, it happens once in a while. People get upset. It's no different than. I mean, look at what the college football did, right? The Pac-12 slips a little bit. Next thing you know, the Pac-12 doesn't exist. All right, the NFC South's going to exist next year, and maybe a team.
Yeah, your teams just might be in different cities, right?
That is a part of the game. Have colleges moved? Do we have any colleges that have just relocated?
I think Wake Forest did back in like 1905, right? But no, look, the NFL is almost flawless playoff wise, right? As far as
totally flawless, but yes,
that's the only thing I would say.
I mean,
there's plenty of teams that you could mention where you're like that should have been that. the year that they didn't have Brady, the Patriots I think won 10 or 11 games, didn't make the playoffs. They should have been in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like
I'd say
they
this.
lost the tiebreak.
I'd say this. I'll put the same argument that the college football people love to use. I don't think we lost any Super Bowl champions.
I think you get in, and who knows? You know
but the division it keeps the season interesting the entire year.
I mean, I
have no problem with them making it. I just don't think you should be hosting it.
You play your division teams twice each. I think
why I think it creates fun games. The Panthers were quote unquote horrible. They were 10.5 point home dogs.
Almost.
Meanwhile, that was a super entertaining game, and they almost upset the Rams. Yeah, exactly. Because they won their division. Yeah. They won their division. All right, we're gonna actually break down the game.
I would have never guessed that Colby was for abolishing.
Yeah, come on, it's an NFL tradition.
Get rid of all divisions.
They should be in the playoffs.
He wants to kill. You hear this? He wants
the division.
He wants to kill rivalries.
Kramer, he's a college guy. They reinvent the rules every year. Oh, hey, this year we're doing that. Next year we're doing this.
Talking about over here, you got the Houston Oilers don't exist. The Raiders are gone. Right there in Vegas.
Oh,
right?
that's
your
different.
whole damn league's been
no one in college sports has changed their mascots, right?
Okay, but they stay in the same stadium in the same.
No.
How the Indiana Bears doing? Huh? Like how all this bullshit. I could go one by one, and I could do a 10-hour seminar on every team in the NFL.
All right, let's
UCLA is moving to SoFi as we speak.
Great point, Kramer. Hey, reminder: we're brought to you by Avo. That's right. Make more money betting sports. Who doesn't want a sure thing? And honestly, if you've not messed around with arbitrage betting, if you have access to a bunch of books, you're leaving money on the table by not getting involved in some arbitrage betting. If you're new to arbitrage betting, very easy. Fire up the clean dashboard they got going, and Avo will show you spots where, hey, you bet this on one side, you bet this the opposite side on another site. You're guaranteeing yourself a profit. You're locking it in. Again, besides that, some other plus EV opportunities. Highly recommend trying out Avo, and you're gonna have Avo. You're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Super easy to use and understand. And again, if you have questions, they're there for you. Check out their Discord at AVO Official. If you're a little skeptical, you're like, all right, well, you can really guarantee a profit. Yes, do the math. There are multiple books, multiple prices. Do the math, and you can lock in some guaranteed profits. Get started today by going to avo.bet and use that promo code SGPN. Get you $18 off. That's avo.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states, even you, Alaska. New traders get $20 in their account, but only when you use the promo code SGPN. T's and C's apply. And again, not only they got you covered for sports. You think you know something about sports? You can predict games. Well, you can make real cash over on Kalshi. Well, I mean, what will Kai Starmer say at the next prime minister's questions? Who the hell knows who this guy is or what prime minister he is? But you can get down on that. You can trade yes, no on that and essentially everything. I mean, if you want Jerome Powell, whatever's going on with him, yes, no on that. But of course, the college football playoffs. Indiana, as you would imagine, is trading at you got to lay some juice to trade on Indiana, but Miami, nice price there. If you think Miami can pull up the upset, get started today over on Kalshi. Use that promo code SGPN. Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
All right. Well, we've made it.
Yes, let's go.
There has again we did a playoff. Everyone was satisfied, as a lot of people have talked about this week. Comically, almost like the script writers from the NFL came down to college and said, "Let us spice this playoff up." It turns out that
good storyline.
I don't know who 65 is, to be honest. I didn't. AI retrieved this photo for me and explained to me who 70 and 76 were, but not who 65 was.
That's got to be something. I guarantee you. That's. I want to know who 65 is.
Now we're gonna have to.
What are we looking at for the audience who's just listening?
Well, I'll let Colby explain.
Colby, why are we looking at this old offensive lineman photo?
This is from, I believe it, if memory serves me correct, Columbus High in Miami. Mario Cristobal was on a high school teammate of Fernando Mendoza's dad. They were both on the offensive line. And with number 65, I have no idea. That's maybe someone else on the offensive line too. So I was even going to say Epstein, but I don't think he looks like an offensive lineman.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Oh no, Madden. That's not Epstein.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of the drama there is, not only that he was at the Miami, Mendoza's mother is played tennis for the University of Miami on the tennis team there. He went to Miami football camp, sent them his tape. They ignored it. Much like Greenberg and Steph Curry to a certain extent. Now, granted, a lot of that was Cristobal. That was Manny Diaz probably the year before. Yeah. So, but still, I think even after the fact, they would have had chances because he was at Cal as a backup. But yeah, you have that, and then you also have Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator of Miami, who was the JMU DC under Kurt Signetti. Not the final year at JMU, but the other years. So, a lot of drama going on in this matchup here.
Yeah, and you also have the element of it being in, like, it's a home game for Miami. We joked on the VSiN show, the $3 million travel bonus you get for the championship game for Miami.
It's good news for the travel secretary, Michael Irvin.
It's going straight to his belt fund, as he calls it. But yeah, just the idea of them being a home team, but perhaps they actually don't have the crowd.
I don't know about that. I still think, I know the Indiana fans are going to travel. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for them.
It was impressive how much they had the crowd in the last game against. Yeah. I understand,
dude. There was more ECU fans there. Did you see like the 5 ECU fans? There was more ECU fans there than Oregon fans, I feel like.
Well, that's also true. I mean, I think the Oregon fans pretty poor. I
don't blame them. They've got to travel a shit ton. What if you're going to lose to Texas Tech? If you go to that game in Miami, you're like, well, I can't come back next week. I don't know if we'll win. So you don't know if you'll win. So you're not going to make all those.
I think I think a lot of Miami fans are going to come out of the closet. I mean, Miami is very much a bandwagon town.
You think they're in the closet?
Well, yeah, as closeted fans, I mean, Colby designed the logo for this Miami National Championship. This logo is probably coming out of the closet.
Oh wow!
I think there's
Miami Vice night, buddy.
Yeah, right? Sure. That's why they're wearing.
It does look like Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I think Miami's going to have a decent chunk of the crowd just because how Miami is the same thing like LA. When the team is good, they will show up. If you remember the Heat, now granted they left and then they were trying to get back in the building for that game where they ended up winning. Now there might be a scene like that, but Miami is the most bandwagonist sports town of all time, and these University of Miami alum, they're coming out of the woodwork. I think there will be a decent amount of Miami fans. Now, Indiana will travel, but also they had a bunch of other playoff games, including the college football championship in Indiana. So I don't know. It's just going to be so much easier for Miami fans to get there. I can't help but think it's not going to be lopsided Indiana. I think if anything, it'll be 50-50 and maybe a little bit more on Miami.
I've been told I've underestimated the resources of people from the Midwest.
Okay.
From in the DMs from angry Indiana. If they don't like my general.
People have talked about this in general. Like people have said these Big Ten schools with ridiculous alumni bases. And I'm talking like before they merged with the Pac-12, but just when they were just, that you open up the doors to paying the players.
Yeah,
those schools are going to have endless money, and I didn't even realize Mark Cuban was an alum right away. It took me and I was like, oh shit, they have Cuban. But then you look if you just Google, they have a shit ton of super successful like billionaires that went to the university.
All right, we have to mention this thing in the chat. So the Epstein Gates Foundation username saying Indiana is in the South. It's like a 4-hour drive across flat land. I just looked up Bloomington, Indiana to Miami, Florida, 17 hours and 22 minutes. So I know people in the Midwest like to fire up the station wagon and go on a road trip, but that is a long ass drive. Come on, 4 hours.
Also,
you're insane.
That that was an X username. That's very on brand right there.
Truth is out there.
Well, yeah, you got to do your own research. But yeah, I mean, so I attempted to do a little bit. And by the way, the game is on Monday, the 19th. According to the betting resources that I have, the expected kickoff time is 4:50 p.m. Pacific. Now, the way that they've been toying with us on some of this kickoff stuff is ridiculous. A 4:30 kickoff is still playing at 8:30 at night. So we'll see if it actually kicks at 4:50. But Miami, Indiana laying 8.5, minus 350 on the money line. Miami plus 290, 47 is the total. Based on the research I've been able to do, Indiana is going to have the crowd. I think you're right about the average Miami fan is into the team and they'll be watching it at a bar, partying with their friends. I don't think if you're from Miami, going out to the Hard Rock Stadium is like a desirable way to spend your night. And I think there's going to be a fuckload of so per is it Trivago? Is that the travel? Like the hotels, like based on hotel data and airline data, they expect Indiana to have, so each team is, I think it's 20,000 tickets allocated and then 25,000 quote unquote corporate seats. They expect Indiana to have at least 80% of the quote unquote corporate seats, or the seats that have been on sale. So, all
right, but hotel data and airline data, how are you going to factor in these random hot chicks who want to be taken to a game, and you get these Miami, whatever real estate cocaine tycoons that are going to be wanting to take them day of the game? I mean, the get-in price I saw someone just post in the chat was like 3,000. The parking pass is 600. You got to have some Miami cash to get to this game.
Yeah, but that we just spent all this time talking about how much money these Indiana boosters have.
No, I'm sure they will have a good presence. I'm just saying it's not going to be an Indiana takeover. Kramer, do you want to start? Fuck Miami, take Indiana.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm getting to. I think it is 100%. And all right, so sorry, play the breaking news sound effect.
I only have Japan's gone.
All right, that's the new breaking. That's the new. We according to AI, number 65 is Alex Mirabel.
Yeah, he's the Miami offensive line coach.
Yes. Did you knew that this whole time and you held it?
No one asked me. I saw it in the chat as well, and I put it up on the screen.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Well done. Did you say it?
No, I didn't. Okay. I put it up on the screen.
Let it go by. This great piece of data we were wondering earlier.
We had completely moved on. I thought
that's an important. I mean, come on, you don't turn forensic files off with 7 minutes to go. Yeah, I mean, my take on this game is I started with the home crowd. I mean, the crowd explosion with the pick six to open the game. You talked about the startling loudness of the crowd at the Circa, but when you watch that game, you hear the loudness of that crowd. If they at all have a presence like that, it's going to impact the game. I think also they're playing with a confidence that like Colby mentioned it, right? Miami felt at times it has felt like Miami has been fortunate, and things have, whether it's the path they got or whatever, the matchups worked out. We haven't really seen the Cristobal experience, but in the last game, we sat and watched Miami dominate a team, and yet they were not dominating on the scoreboard. And so I think now between that, we know that Cristobal is going to get outcoached in this game. It's it's a massive disadvantage. We also have an intelligent quarterback, and I think has Miami faced a quarterback anywhere near this level, like intellectually? I know we like the Ole Miss kid, but I wonder if this is going to be another game where it looks relatively easy, because he's dialed in right now. He's playing quarterback at another level. He's a fucking nerd. And it seems to be, if he's going to have a superpower at the next level, it's going to be his processing. And you watched it in that Oregon game, because Oregon has that NFL dudes on their defense, and it was easy. And so, and the coach's willingness to, as a gambler, to know the coach will continue to score touchdowns is the greatest feeling in the world. So 2025 Italian of the Year nominee and favorite, Kurt Signetti.
We're in 2026, Ryan. Time to turn the page.
But you give out the award for the previous year.
Oh, okay.
So
but then
the
this wouldn't count towards his award.
Season. Well, it's like they call it the 2025 college football season, and it ends in 2026. They call it the 2025 NFL season, and it ends in 2026. So
sure, but you get the MVP for your regular season work.
All right. Well, he's already. I mean, I'm just saying he's already probably winning the award, regardless of what happens in the national championship. So, yeah, I think Miami has been an interesting story. I definitely think they're capable of winning this game. Winning this game could create some of the greatest content ever.
Yes.
But I'm never going to take Miami, even though, I mean, think Coach O, Michael Irvin. Oh my, the amount of stuff that would be happening. I mean, Joy Taylor's going to be somewhere down there, her and her peanut butter skin. It's going to be an electric environment. We're laying the points.
Colby, I assume you're on Indiana, right? No way you'd be on an underdog story here like Miami, Florida.
I'll take the points, man. I just think there's too much continuity. Like Corey Heatherman.
Wait, so you're taking the points with Miami?
Yeah, because look, Corey Heatherman was his DC forever, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? Their OC is Mike Shanahan, and Mike Shanahan's been with Signetti throughout all of this. So like they went together in practice for years. And guess what? Indiana's DC is Bryant Haynes, who was working under Corey Heatherman. So I just think there's so much continuity within there that they're gonna know what they're gonna want to do. So I think that will make for a close game. Just that in general. I think Indiana will win the game, but I certainly think Miami's capable of winning the game with Tony and that offensive line. The main thing is, no one's been able to run the ball in Indiana, and Miami's how they got here was being able to run the ball. So we'll see if they can do that. But I think 8.5 is too much. I think this is like a 1-score game. Hoosiers win though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a look at this Indiana team, and
you've been watching.
I have been. They've been incredibly locked in. I also watched the ball bounce incredibly their way every single time it got loose. I mean, they had 3 forced fumbles.
They won by 30 points.
Right.
They've only had 1 fumble this season, and that was week 1.
They've had 985 straight plays without losing a fumble. That streak comes to an end on Monday. We'll start right there. And Ryan, we've seen a team before play for a championship game where everyone was already giving them the championship for the perfect season. Incredible story. And then, oh no, a little scrappy team that thought they didn't even belong in the playoff, and they have an incredible defensive line and ability to pressure. No one believes in them.
Miami's Hall of Famer Eli Manning.
Miami's the 2011 New York Giants, and who better to compare Carson Beck to Eli Manning, the guy that everyone wrote off, but all he does is come up in big games.
2007.
Eli. 2007.
That would be the better comparison, beating the undefeated Patriots.
Oh yes, that's what I was going for. 2007. That team.
Also, yeah, certainly. Yeah,
and you know what?
Nice try. I appreciate that.
And I even dug a little bit deeper. I go, you know what?
But Carson Beck is not Eli Manning.
He's the Eli Manning of college football.
No.
And I said, is there anyone I know? Is there anyone I know who's a quarterback who's played in a college football playoff game at a high level, an elite level? And then I realized, oh man, I actually have one of these guys in my phone. I'll just reach out to the great Stone Labanowitz, who went on a playoff run previously as a dog. Don't let the Salukis get hot. And I asked him, I go, should I be on Miami? What do you have any nuggets, some stats? This is a great text. Ironically, there are 0 nuggets. It's violence. It's punch you in your jaw. And when you stop to feel your jaw, here comes duo. You start to stumble. Here comes put him in a stretcher Fletcher inside zone. Can somebody hold this level for a month? Burrow did. Not sure if Mendoza can. If it's 7-3 at the end of the first, Miami should be even money. Welcome to the trenches. Miami's game plan and whatever tape you want to break down doesn't lead to any bit of tell on why they want to do versus Indiana. It is the same game plan they walked into Kyle Field with: smash mouth violence and blunt force trauma. Give me the Miami Hurricanes all day. This defense is elite.
Yeah, no, and one of the things also is Shannon Dawson, their OC, has been kicking ass this year. He's a former Dub V guy, just like Signetti is too. So I mean, there's a lot of similarities here. He was an OC, I think, for a long time at I think under Neil Brown maybe, or Bill Stewart, one of the two. But yeah, what's up?
How is Mac doing?
Moneyline McIntosh, he's
talking
Mollyline Mac.
Yeah.
Is everything good?
He's keep the tips up. He's keeping his ski school.
Keeping his GPA.
He's up at the lodge.
He's really living a life, huh?
His football post while with him on the slopes is excellent. It is very American Psycho.
It's great.
There's a little bit of that happening. And another comparison you might bring up is when LSU rolled up a very good Clemson team in the national championship. They were undefeated. They had Joe Burrow, another elite processor, arguably better receivers on that team than what Indiana's dealing with. But they're
and I think Miami's defense, especially their playoff defense, and much like your 2000 New York Giants ride, they're battle tested. This Indiana team, when was the last time they had a competitive game, Colby?
But, you probably have to go back to the Penn State or Iowa game. I think the Iowa game was the last one, right?
Yeah. I mean, this Miami Florida team, they're down and out. They got punched in the mouth. They had to go into Kyle Field and win on the road.
You're using the fact that they're curb stomping teams against them.
Yes. Have you not watched sports? Teams that have not been battle tested get complacent and they fall off of the championship game.
Not this team.
I'll say this, man.
Not this team.
Yeah, Tom Brady's not going to lose a game until he loses a game. And
I did have that take,
because Tom Brady, he won a championship at home. We've seen it twice recently in the NFL. The Los Angeles Rams won at home, and the Tampa Bay Bucks also won at home.
And the LSU Tigers in 19 were in the Superdome. That's pretty much home.
Essentially home. Great point, Colby.
But they were the undefeated team, favored by
one thing I think that is essential is for Miami to establish the run, because when first off, actually, that'll be my second point. But if they can't establish the run and they become predictable passing the ball, I don't think Carson Beck's good enough to beat you. Like he's been too inconsistent on his throws. The run has to set up the pass, and Indiana's run defense has been incredible this year. So if they're stopping Fletcher and the NDSU transfer Brown, then I don't think Miami's going to be able to score much, right? But on the other side of things, Miami's pass defense still gave up 277 to Trinidad Chambliss, and you look back at the games they lost. Miller Moss went for I think 250, and then Jennings went for like 370 with SMU there. I would jump on the Mendoza prop for higher than higher whatever his higher pass yards is.
Feels like Colby's getting ready to Benedict here.
No, he's right on the edge.
No, I think it's a one score game.
And by the way,
one score game. Yeah.
That Clemson team that LSU in my comparison wins by margin. Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence, two of the best defensive tackles in the league, both on that team. So very fair comparison.
Were they battle tested through multiple road playoff games?
I like the battle test. See, here's my problem. Like yes, I agree with you. They're battle tested. I don't think they've learned anything like from a coaching edge. And I think that very easily the combination of Mendoza and just the preparation of Cignetti, like they're gonna be ahead of them, and so you're gonna have to avoid. Maybe it's another pick six. Maybe it's just Mendoza continuing the curb stomp.
What happens when that dweeb Mendoza gets punched in the mouth? We're gonna find out Monday night. I'm excited. Bad guys win.
See, I'm not. Listen, it's gonna generate more interesting content if Miami wins.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I'm on it. All right, hey, we're gonna talk a little props, and if you're betting some props, you gotta download that Rhythm app. Of course, their props are AI backed, so you get some good data behind, and they just dropped a new parlay optimizer. Everyone loves parlays. Everyone loves winning parlays. Tired of having your last leg fall apart? That's where Rhythm comes in handy. They help you get that parlay dialed in, get rid of the weak wobbly legs, and build that strong tripod, that strong chair, the 4-leg parlay. Of course, if you want to go premium with Rhythm, you get 25% off and use the promo code SGPN25. But download it for free. Get started today. Tell them we sent you. RITHMM. And we're also brought to you by Underdog. That's right. The Rhythm is going to bet you. And so Underdog as well. Use your Rhythm projections over on Underdog, where you can win up to 5,000 extra money. Play $5, get $75 in bonus funds. Colby, you were already leading us to a prop you liked, aka fantasy projection. Fernando Mendoza, you like his higher pass yards at 217.5?
I do, and I actually like 3 of these plays here. I'm gonna
let's go
with Elijah Surratt, his star wideout, higher than 53.5 receiving yards. I still think Miami's secondary is questionable. Remember also because of that ridiculous targeting penalty, they're out one of their secondary for the first half of the championship game. Miami is.
Yeah, that's annoying.
That can't be. You have to fix that.
That's why you love college football. Great rules like that.
Even in the World Cup, they reset the yellow card.
Yeah, come on.
Point.
Even soccer's figured this out.
You don't carry it into the championship.
I did hear they were going to appeal, so I don't know if that's been.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Let the kid play in the championship game.
Colby, so we need
to do anything wrong. Mark Fletcher over higher than 69.5 rush yards. I think Miami will be able to have more success than pretty much any other team, minus Old Dominion, I guess, rushing the ball against Indiana. And I think that'll keep him in the game. So give me the higher on Fletcher, 69.5 rush yards.
We're say that again. I missed the first one.
Elijah Surratt higher than 3.5 receiving yards. Mendoza higher than 217. This is. They didn't look at his tape. He's going to get this number.
Especially playing from behind.
We just said we weren't going to. We just said no rushing yards. So we're back.
I'm sorry.
No, for quarterback, Ryan.
Yeah.
What the we're talking about quarterback rushing yards.
Yeah.
We're not playing quarterback rushing yards. That was what
we're playing
said.
Pass yards.
Pass okay.
Yards, 217.5. Yeah.
Higher 217.5. Elijah Surratt higher 53.5 nice receiving stack. Yards, and Mark Fletcher higher 69.5 rush yards. Nice. You can play us or tail us over at Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, closing out. Any sort of bonus picks or props? Colby, I know you put together a first TD sheet. I mean, I'll start. I don't know if Kramer's on this as well, but I mean, we just saw him run it in a crazy spot. Carson Beckett 40-1 first touchdown. How do we end?
You got to play both quarterbacks.
He's a willing sneak guy. Yeah, I'll play Beckett 40-1 and Mendoza at 12-1. I think both.
Why wouldn't you play both quarterbacks the way that they play?
I mean, I guess maybe Mendoza because the price is only 12-1. That would be my only argument against it.
Yeah, I think both.
Colby, what do you like here?
I'm just trying to get an update on the player being for the targeting. If that had been overturned, but yeah, Xavier Lucas. I have not. There's not been an official word on that yet, but I'll tell you what. Knowing that Miami's super aggressive defensively, he's a safety. Why not take a shot on Indiana's tight end Riley Nowakowski? All right, plus 2,500.
I love
touchdown.
this play.
Yeah.
Oh, you like this one, right?
Well, I would say I'm not doing the same level of handicapping as for the NFL first touchdowns, but I basically just ignored the short price guys and looked into the long price guys, and this is the play I like as well.
So my card will be both quarterbacks and Miami defensive special teams 28-1. I mean, if I'm Miami, I'm again, just talking, Miami has nothing to lose. Miami loses by 30 points. No one gives a shit. No one, they have no pressure on them. Carson Beck and Mario Cristobal, it's already like, hey, you guys are good, fine, whatever. All the pressure's on Indiana. Indiana has a perfect season on the line. Indiana's the team that's a massive favorite. Indiana's the team with, oh man, we haven't won a championship ever. You guys got it. No way you can fuck this up.
This is crazy.
And Miami's defense and special teams, they're due for a massive play. They had so many close calls on the turnover. The ball bounced their way, I think, in the old what do they call this stadium, Colby?
This is bullshit Hard Rock Stadium.
Whoa.
I just like asking.
Hey, but at least
it's not a dome. Why are you getting upset?
Well, it's one of
open air.
Yeah, I mean, look. There's better. They're one of the worst in college football stadium wise, but at least it's not a dome. Let's get some rain.
Kramer, any other bonus?
I was going to ask Colby, is there anyone else on Miami that you like? If not, I'm just going to default to Tony as my second guy from Miami.
I actually think I'm going to take a shot on both those tight ends. I think Alex Bowman, the former Tulane Green Wave tight end at 3,500, just because, I feel like Miami is going to establish the run, open up the play action, go play action. Alex Bowman tight end, especially if you get down to the goal line. Let's go.
All right. I'll throw that on my card. So Beck at 40-1, Bowman at 35-1, Nowakowski. Kind of sound. Did you like him because his name is Noah? Like it makes you feel warm inside.
Makes me think about
producer Noah Beanflick.
25-1 and Fernando Mendoza 12-1. That's my card.
All right,
let's ride.
Let's go. Let's get it. Of course, check out Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee, and the College Experience crew every day breaking down all the college football games, ATS. And reminder, if you guys haven't taken advantage of a new merch sale, 2026 is the promo code. New year, new gear. We got some new additions. I love the new Let It Ride hats with the cool design there. You got Mac to School. You got the TCE throwback logo. I'd rather lose money having fun than make money being bored. Gambling T-shirt. Again, 2026, 10% off everything over there in the merch store. And Kramer, we got a bunch of shows coming up. Of course, get you ready for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Do the upside down, you Sean.
Kramer.
Yeah.
Let it ride.
I want better fucking execution.
I'm wet.